So I'm a plant-based vegan type person and I just got my blood work done. Let's talk about it. Greetings and welcome back to PB with J. I am Jeremy and here on the channel we focused on all things plant-based goodness. I'm a man in his 40s who for the last 5 years or so have been eating pretty strictly whole food plant-based. And when I say pretty strictly, I mean every now and then I have a vegan donut. What are your vegan options?
The top row.
Everything on the top row?
Yes.
I guess I'll get one of everything. Or 12. We believe in a balance of treats around this house. Look, I know there's a lot of smack talk out there about different people with different diets and how they eat and how you can't possibly be healthy if you eat this specific way. So today, we're gonna put that to the test. Because specifically, there's a lot of people out there, you know who they are, who think you can't be healthy eating a fully plant-based diet. So I decided to get my blood work done to prove them wrong. Or right. We're gonna find out. Stick around because today I'm gonna take you through a rip-roaring, edge-of-your-seat, exciting video about blood work. That's a joke, by the way. It's gonna be me talking and, try not to make this feel like homework. So by the end of this video, you should get a sense of what your health markers should look like, what you can do to improve yours, and how mine measure up. Am I getting everything I need on a whole food plant-based diet, or do I personally need to make some changes? This should go without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I am not a doctor. I'm a dude on a couch surrounded by his own merch. Now in our store. Seriously, watch this video, and if you have more questions specifically about blood work that I don't answer here or anything that you're curious about, seek medical advice from a person that actually has the license to talk about it. Before we get underway, I'd like to say hello to some of the people who've said hello to us in the comments down below. Seal from Rochester, New York, Heidi from Hanover, Maine, Anna from Oregon, Yolanda from Victoria, Spain, Sarah from Gainesville, Texas, Deanne from Calgary, Stacy from Lake City, Pennsylvania, Pamela from Pontiac, Illinois, Marianne from Coventry, Connecticut, Roseanne from Australia, who says they live on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Glow from Pittsburgh, California. I didn't know there was a Pittsburgh in California, so thanks for the education there. And last but not least, Tracy from I don't know where because she didn't tell me, but what I do know is that she's from Our Mighty Network. Our Mighty Network is like PB with J 2.0. It's a place where you can get a bump up on our shout out list. You can get access to these videos early, but most importantly, you get access to a members only exclusive community where nobody yucks each other's yums, open-minded, we meet you where you are, very inclusive, a lovely group of people. And you can get all this for the price of a crappy cup of coffee a month.
You don't have to drink that. Thank you.
Link in the description down below. So you may be asking yourself, why do I need to get blood work done? Think of it like a report card or a performance review for your body. It's kind of a way for your body to send you a memo before shit hits the fan. It's like how last week I took a car into the shop just to get its winter tires off, and they said, hey, we found $3,000 of other things you should spend money on. And I didn't, yet. But I'm probably going to because now I know they're a problem. It's hard to sit back and do nothing once you know something's wrong. Actually, it's not, is it? We do that a lot as human beings. But we don't want to do that with our bodies because the difference is if my car goes to utter crap and dies on the side of the road, I can get another car. I just get one of these things. What's good about getting blood work done is you can get early detection on things like diabetes, high cholesterol, kidney disease, and even warning signs on cancer before symptoms start to appear. And if you've already got some kind of a chronic disease, it's a way to monitor them and see if they're progressing one way or the other. Blood tests can also assess your organ function or dysfunction and your overall nutrition levels. Do you have the right amounts of vitamins and minerals and nutrients that your body needs? And as someone who eats whole food plant-based, I want to make sure that my body is getting the adequate amounts of all the things. Mostly so I can rub it in the face of omnivores who think that I can't possibly be healthy living this way. How often should you subject yourself to this riveting and fun-filled experience? That's kind of like asking yourself, how often should you visit your in-laws? Seriously though, once a year is kind of the norm, but if you've got issues or things you're worried about, check with your doctor and they might put you on a more regular basis, like every 6 months or so. And I know what you're thinking, I don't like needles either, but it's a small price to pay for staying one step ahead of your body's plot twists. There's a lot of different kinds of blood tests and things that they can use your blood to determine. I just got what my doctor set out for me and what I asked them to look into. So if you want to know more in a future video, let me know, and next time I get my blood tested, I can ask for those specific tests. It's a lot to cover in a single video, but I'm happy to do multiple parts of this if people let me know in the comments down below that's something they're interested in. Again, not a doctor, so as I go through this, realize this is just information that I have read about, that I know about from internet searches and my own readings, but please do further research yourself or talk to an actual medical professional. And if it looks like I'm reading off my screen for a lot of this, it's because I am, because I'm looking at results and chatting with you. So, you know, it's what it is. Also, I'm a Canadian, so these measurements might look a little bit different from where you are. I am doing my best to give an example of both in most cases. If it's confusing in any way, I'll put a link in the description down below for some online calculators where you can tell the difference between our measurement systems. All right, so get some popcorn and buckle in, because we're gonna find out if I'm super healthy or totally dying. I don't like that I said it that way. Hematology 1 and 2. So first up are these tests that essentially cover my white blood cell and red blood cell counts. So why are these important? So according to the interweb, abnormal levels of red blood cells, hemoglobin, or hematocrit, I think I said that word properly, this is how it's spelled, may be signs of anemia, heart disease, or too little iron in your body, and high levels can lead to clots, heart attacks, and stroke. Low white cell counts can be a sign of an autoimmune disorder, bone marrow disorder, or cancer. Yee. A high white cell count may be a sign of an infection or reaction to a medicine. So looking at these, everything of mine here is well within the normal ranges, which is very exciting for me. This could have gone off the deep end real quick if this had been bad news, right? The thing is, I do have cancer in my family, so these are the kind of things that are important for me to check in on from time to time. You're gonna see all these other things in this category, and really it's like a bunch of smaller tests inside of the white and blood cell tests. So we're not gonna get into detail about all of that, but basically it's various things that test how strong my immune system is and being able to fight off bad stuff. And so far so good here. One thing I wanted to address was a question we got from one of our Mighty Network members about their blood cell counts. They wrote, I see a holistic MD and get frequent blood work done. Recently, my blood labs came back showing very high oxalates, which can lead to breast cancer. You get high oxalates from plant foods such as spinach, sweet potatoes, white potatoes, dark chocolate, etc. Ooh, dark chocolate? That sucks. I eat predominantly whole food plant-based and was disappointed to know that there's a negative side to eating this way. I'd love to hear your take on this. Once again, not a doctor, but I have done a little bit of research on this and reading about oxalates and what happens if they're too high. And she's right, these can lead to complications and potential cancers. The reading I have done doesn't necessarily show that this is a common thing amongst people in general. So this might just be some wonky genes at play. One thing I do know that helps flush out oxalates is having a lot of liquid, and it doesn't hurt to add some lemon juice to it. Fresh lemon juice is preferred. The good news is, even though there are some things on this list, like the spinach and some potatoes, chocolate, and that kind of stuff, things that you should maybe limit or reduce, there's still lots of amazing options you can eat in the whole food plant-based catalog. So it's not a huge issue. That said, this is another one of those great examples of why you should get your blood work done. Even if you eat super duper healthy, you never know when there's little wonky pesky things going on. So kudos to you for getting your work done and getting onto this early. Urinalysis. That sounds like a funny word, but it's a real thing. It's like a pun I would make, but it's a test of your urine. It is used to detect and manage a wide variety of disorders such as urinary tract infections, kidney disease, and diabetes. A urinalysis involves checking the appearance, concentration, and content of urine. You probably figured that out just from the general concept, but here I am to mansplain things to you on the interweb. So mine came in negative for all of these things, and in this case, a negative is a positive, if you know what I mean. The only thing I look at and worry about a little bit is my pH. Mine is at an 8.0, which is on the higher end of the reference range. So it's fine, but it's at the edge of the high range. So I'm gonna keep my eye on this over the next little bit. Going too high on the pH level could be a sign of kidney failure. One thing to consider with your pH balance when getting this test is that if you have a lack of hydration at that time of the test, or you just finished exercising, maybe you rode your bike to the clinic like I did, you can get weird fluctuations in this. So if your levels are wonky, it might be worth getting a second test when you're fully hydrated. If you've got the opposite problem and your pH is too low, that means your urine is too acidic. I have got a list in the description down below for foods that can help you become more alkaline, which is the higher level of the pH. Spoiler alert, it's like tons of whole food plant-based foods, so you will have no problem doing that. Glucose. So this is the big one for a lot of people out there, and I know this is one of the main reasons a lot of people go whole food plant-based is to lower the glucose levels or their HbA1c. The one that I was tested for is called a glucose random test. And they also did one specifically for the A1C. This is basically to determine whether or not I'm at risk for diabetes. So here's some context for what we should be looking for. A fasting blood sugar level less than 100 milligrams, or on our Canadian measurement is a 5.6, is normal. So we want below that. If you are from 100 to 125, or 5.1 to 6.4 on the Canadian system, that's considered pre-diabetic. If you are 120 and higher on two separate tests, or 6.5 and up, that's considered diabetic. Mine is clocking in at 4.9 on the Canadian measurement, or 87. So I'm good here. I'm well under the 100 milligrams and under the 6.5, so no diabetes or pre-diabetes. Yay! Isn't any level technically pre-diabetic? No, because I guess that would mean that everyone's going to be diabetic. That's right, I don't want to be. We're good. Again, not a doctor, just a dude. Now, for those of you that do have higher levels and want to bring them down, what can you do about that? Exercise regularly. Exercising regularly can improve your insulin sensitivity, which means that your cells can get better use of the sugar in your blood by reducing your blood sugar levels. Good forms of exercise including weightlifting, walking briskly, running, bicycling, dancing, hiking, and swimming. Honestly, anything that you enjoy doing that involves movement, do it. Manage your carbs. Your body converts carbs into sugar, and then insulin helps your body to use and store that sugar for energy. So this doesn't mean eliminate your carbs. That is not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that you should be focusing on whole foods for your carb sources, because what happens with processed foods is it breaks the food down into sugar a lot faster. What's good about whole foods is it's also packed with fiber, and so those blood sugars release slower and just help you maintain your sugar level for longer. You don't spike. Eat more fiber. Like I just said, fiber is going to slow down your body's digestion of carbohydrates and sugar absorption. It means that it promotes a more gradual increase in the sugar levels. All kinds of fiber are good for your body, but soluble fiber is best for improving your blood sugar control. High fiber diets are particularly good for people that have diabetes because it helps you control your blood sugar levels. And don't listen to those people that are like, well, fiber doesn't actually digest in your body, so your body doesn't use it, you just poop it out. Fiber is like the broom that comes in and cleans all the crap out of your insides. Just because you don't actually digest it doesn't mean it isn't good for your body and it's not doing something. Don't listen to those people. High fiber foods include fruits, vegetable, beans and legumes, and grains. As you know, all whole food plant-based delicious things. Drink plenty of water. You might hear this over and over again. It's just good for you. It flushes the bad stuff out. And I've said it before, but I'll say it again. For those of you that say you don't like the taste of water, grow up. You're an adult. Just drink water. Give me strength. I love water. Get a soda stream. Make it fizzy or something. I don't know. Add some lemon juice to it. I just splashed water on my glasses. See what you did? That is water that should have been in my body, because I got all kerfluffled. Where were we? Eat nutrient-rich foods. Some people would say here that you should focus on your portion control, and I think that's a load of nonsense because there's a lot of people out there that just like to eat a high volume of food. We're trained to think that's a bad thing. It's not. What's bad is when you eat calorically dense foods like processed foods and fast foods and crap like that. When you're eating nutrient-rich foods, which are typically lower in calories, you can eat as much as you want. Non-starchy vegetables and fruit, have at it. You literally cannot overeat them. Your body will fill up before that happens. When it comes to your starchy vegetables and your whole food fats and those kind of things, you might need to limit those a little bit. But those are the things that are going to help satiate you, keep you full, and give you energy. Balance. Just do that thing where at least half of your plate is non-starchy vegetables or fruit, and then the rest can fill up the grains and the fats and whatnot. Also the proteins. But spoiler alert, there's protein in everything on a whole food plant-based plate already. Manage your stress. Stress can affect your blood sugar levels. Exercise, relaxation techniques, meditation, all of these things can help reduce your stress and your blood sugar levels. Get enough sleep. Poor sleeping habits can increase appetite and promote weight gain, which can affect your blood sugar level. Sleep deprivation increases cortisol levels, which are essential to managing your blood sugars. Eat foods that are rich in chromium and magnesium. So high blood sugar levels are linked to deficiencies in minerals like chromium and magnesium, which regulate your blood sugar. Chromium-rich foods include fruits, vegetables, nuts, and magnesium-rich foods include dark leafy greens, squash, pumpkin seeds, whole grains, bananas, beans, and dark chocolate. I love dark chocolate. My magnesium is going to be on point. Lipid test. So a lipid panel is a blood test that measures the amount of certain fat molecules called lipids in your blood. In most cases, the panel includes 4 cholesterol measurements and a measurement of your triglycerides. This is another one of the big ones that people come to a whole food plant-based diet to lower. So this is probably helpful information for most of you. One good thing from the get-go is that if you're eating a whole food plant-based diet, there's not a whole lot of saturated fats in the foods that you're eating outside of coconut products. When you get into processed foods like Beyond Burgers and that kind of stuff, that's where you start to see cholesterol type things creeping their way in. But whole food plant-based, very little, if not none, outside of coconut. Doesn't mean you can't have coconut, just don't be pounding it back every single day. So why do we want to measure our cholesterol? Well, we want to measure it for our risk of heart attacks and other related heart diseases. Triglyceride tests are also covering the same things, but they also assess a potential risk of stroke. So a total cholesterol level of less than 200 milligrams or 5.17 on the Canadian scale is normal. A cholesterol level of 200 to 239 or 5.17 to 6.18 on the Canadian level is considered borderline high. And a total cholesterol of 240 or 6.21 and up is considered bad, too high. My cholesterol level is 140 or 3.2 on the Canadian scale, which is way below or way within the normal range. Anyway, cholesterol is good. I don't eat anything that has a large source of cholesterol other than a little bit of coconut milk in a curry or shredded unsweetened coconut in my granola from time to time. Pretty minor amount. Triglyceride levels. So a healthy level is below 150 milligrams. A borderline high level is between 150 and 199. And high is anything above 200. Specifically here it says 200 to 499. My triglycerides are at 115, which means good. Happy with those. I'll take those numbers. So for those of you that are asking what do I do if my cholesterol or my triglyceride levels are too high, honestly, rewind this video back a few minutes to when I'm talking about your blood sugar levels and that list of things you can do to help with that. And honestly, it's a lot of the same things, if not entirely the same things. Other than that, it's just really about reducing your foods that have saturated fats. If you're already eating whole food plant-based, you're probably in good shape. But if you're transitioning over from an omnivore diet, cut out the animal products. Get away from meat, alcohol, cigarettes, sleep more. Next test up is my routine chemistry. So this is looking at things like sodium to make sure I've got an electrolyte balance in my body, things that will keep my nerves and muscles in good shape. These are essentially determining how my liver is doing. So everything here is well within the normal range. And because this isn't something that comes up a lot in questions that I get on this channel or in general, I'm just gonna keep going. But if you want to know more about this, let me know and I will do a deeper dive into a future video. All right, B12. Well, isn't this the thing that people bring up a lot? Because we don't get B12 naturally on a vegan diet. And that's not true. We'll get into that in a minute, so stick around. Firstly, why is B12 important? Imagine your body is like a well-oiled machine. B12 is the oil that keeps everything flowing nicely. B12 is like a superhero that helps your body make red blood cells. And then those little red blood cells carry oxygen around like little delivery trucks. They keep all your cells happy and energized, giving away gifts. It's like your delivery guy brings your package. Without B12, things start to sputter. You might feel tired all the time, like your body's battery is on low. Plus, B12 helps to keep your brain sharp. So if you're feeling foggy in the mind, that might be one of the reasons why. In simple terms, B12 keeps your body's engine fired up and your brain clear and active. So a healthy range on my test is between 138 and 652, and mine came in at 330. So take that, omnivores. My B12 is just fine. It's totally average. In this case, average is a good thing. So how do you get your B12 as someone who's plant-based or vegan? There's a lot of different ways. You can just straight up take a supplement. The recommended daily amount for adults is only 2.4 micrograms. So make sure you're paying attention to the amount that's in those supplement pills, because you might not need to take it every day, every other day, every 3 days. It's really not that hard to get it. The one I take every other day. My favorite way to get B12 is through nutritional yeast. It's natural and tasty, and you can just sprinkle that thing on anything savory that you are eating. It's nutty and cheesy, so it's great in soups, it's great on pastas and bowls, and it also comes with a little boost of protein. If you are plant-based and you don't have like a jar full of nutritional yeast in your cupboard, you're doing plant-based wrong. You can find it in most bulk stores, and if not, you can order on Amazon. It also tends to be in the health food aisle at every grocery store. A lot of plant-based food these days are actually fortified with B12, things like cereals, fortified plant milks like almond, soy, and oat. And also a lot of the faux meats have it included as well, although I would not recommend that as your predominant source. The truth is, everyone should be paying attention to their B12 levels, and just because you eat a certain way doesn't mean you're getting the right amount. And last but not least, on my blood work, we are looking at our iron, which is called here ferritin. Ferritin is the blood protein that contains iron.
Nerd.
This test is essentially designed to figure out how much iron our body stores. Iron is another one of those things that people assume that plant-based eaters don't get enough of, because a lot of people associate iron with meat. And that's silly, and we'll talk about that in a second. So why do we need iron? Oxygen transport, energy production, immune function, brain function, and muscle function, for a lot of things. In simple terms, iron is the fuel that powers your body's engine. Without it, you could feel sluggish and weak and unable to perform at the best of your abilities. And there are no shortage of iron sources in the whole food plant-based world. So, a healthy level is between 15 and 25 according to my test. I am hitting 63, so I am well within the healthy range. Keep in mind, for women that are still at the age where they're going through their menstrual cycles, their iron blood levels can be a little trickier and harder to keep up than men. I hope I don't have to go into detail to explain why that is. But for women types, just eat more of the iron foods that I mentioned and you're gonna be fine. So I hope this video proves that you can be healthy eating a whole food plant-based diet, but you should still get your blood work done regularly so you can just avoid any surprises that you're not aware of and nip things in the bud as they come along. You only get one body and it deserves a checkup. Don't avoid it just because you might be told you need to make some changes. For those that are just in the process of starting to go whole food plant-based or vegan or any combination of that, just know that it can take a little while for your body to show these changes coming through. So be patient. Don't go vegan and get another blood test done the next week. Give it a couple weeks or a couple months just for things to regulate. And know that certain things might be a little wonky at the start. Your cholesterol levels might go up and down as your body is kind of cleansing itself and pushing those fats out. Let your doctor know that you are starting to eat plant-based or vegan, and so that you can get checked for all the things they might be concerned about, like iron and B12 and whatnot. If your doctor is concerned about not getting all of your nutrients you need, this blood work is going to help prove them wrong. And if your doctor is still skeptical, even though all of that advice shows that you're fine, maybe it's time to get a new doctor. As of the recording of this video, it's 2024, and there are a lot of advancements in the nutritional information that modern and smart doctors are aware of and paying attention to. And if your doctor is out of date and out of touch, maybe they don't deserve you as a client who is more forward thinking than they are. There are doctors out there who support plant-based and vegan clients. It's worth finding them. If there are any blood tests that I did not cover in this video, please let me know in the comments down below. And when I get my blood levels done next time, I'll get those done and consider making another video if other people are interested in that. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please do so for more videos like this, as well as a lot of fun ones that involve my family and doing cookbook reviews and other things we do here on the channel. And hit that like button so that YouTube knows to send this to other people in case they're curious about it. And if you got a little more time, check out this video next, because YouTube thinks it's just the cat's pajamas. Now I can't stop thinking about cats in pajamas. That's fun.